Our garden project is called Desert is the Forest. And in this forest, quote unquote, we are looking at the perception of the forest and how we see the forest.
Yeah. And normally, when we say the word forest, we
Yeah.
always have an image, and that image is also politically
Yeah.
problematic. So that's why we wanted to call it Desert is the Forest, because we again come to the philosophy of the forest,
Yeah.
or you know.
Yeah.
So here again, the idea is to push the concept of interconnectedness.
Yeah.
Whether you are in Western Ghats or whether you are in the midst of Fujairah landscape in UAE, at the end, the interconnectedness between human, non-human is also where the politics of the forest lies.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to see in the landscape. So if we can use John Burge's ways of seeing it,
Yeah.
it's in a way, again, questioning the image of a forest and relooking the human in that
Yeah.
image.
Yeah.
My practice is in a way a conflict of two currents. One where I'm part of the structures and the different narratives which I'm part of or has been passed off as baggage, and where the ultimate intent in this structure was to legitimize these narratives which are human centric. And on the other hand, the other current is where the tension in the thoughts and the concepts and the ideas come. And this tension is, but who is the human? Where is the landscape? Who is creating this human? And how is it connected? So that's where I also feel that this conflict is also, in a way, an extension of how it is coming in the form of Lakshmi Nivas. So if I were to tell, if I have to describe my practice, I think it's the life every day in Lakshmi Nivas is what defines it. And in that context, whether it is collecting cow dung every day from the cowshed, or taking the goats or the cows for grazing, or just taking or worrying about monsoons, that is where the conflict and these questions come. Where this is where these tensions emerge, where these politics come into the head. Why am I domesticating the cow in my home, or why is the goat tied in a goat shed, or why is it that I need them in a way that it's a structure format. So so I don't see a difference of work separate and a practice separate. It's the life every day, and the questions that one deals with or is facing with every day is where I feel I feel there is a need to create newer narratives.
My works, I use natural material, and this material itself come with a baggage. Like I work with materials like beeswax, stone, reclaimed wood, and sometimes the plant itself become my medium or material to work. And my artistic intervention is to push the meaning or a context or a baggage these materials have, and bring into another kind of a language or another kind of a meaning into it. All these materials are part of this landscape, and this material and the landscape and me and the landscape, there is a relationship. This connection or this interconnection is, that's where the politics lies, and this politics is the thing which translate into my work in different visual forms. So that's where the Lakshmi Nivas practice also come, because everyday activity in Lakshmi Nivas become art practice for me.
We started working together with the inception of Lakshmi Nivas as a philosophy, as a space. And Lakshmi Nivas is an interdisciplinary space which we felt the need to create.
Yeah.
And also we felt it was also an extension of our
Practices.
practices. Yeah. And Lakshmi Nivas asks a very simple question. It's how to think like a forest.
Yeah. Or how a forest function. That is our base philosophy, we could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most so in this, when we say how to think like a forest, it basically is re-looking at the human in the landscape. When we say re-looking at the human, it's trying to position in such a way that there is a lot of interconnectedness which establishes the human presence in the landscape.
Yeah.
It's not just a human, it's me or it's you or it's the bee or it's the ant.
Exactly.
And
how the relationship or interrelationship with non-humans and humans in the landscape. That's what we are looking at. A plant is connected to a bird is connected to an animal, or a small insect. You know, that kind of interrelation where forest it exists. So we are trying to look at that kind of relationship in Lakshmi Nivas.
yeah. And another fundamental thing in this interrelationship, and why we are connected in this network, is because the most fundamental element is food. You know, whatever any being that needs food ultimately is connected to the landscape, and that's where the interconnection lies, and that's where also the politics of this network lies. Because at the end, who is getting food from where? How are we getting the food? You know, and then whether it's a plant, or whether it's a mineral in the soil, or whether it's the root under the soil, that's where the connection lies, and that's where the interconnectivity of the relationship lies, and also where the politics thrives.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also another angle where we also looking at the food as a medicine itself. This also through a non-human angles where we are looking at, or we are studying through. Like we for us, our goats are our botanists. We learn through the goats so many different, or cows, so many different grasses or a different kind of plants.
Yeah, and these plants somehow in a way enters the very kitchen that we use to cook food.
Yeah.
You know, and the kitchen again is a different politics altogether.
Exactly.
But then that's how, and those same plants somehow comes back to us in a different format.
Yeah.
Or but then what we are also curious when we ask the question how to think like a forest is also trying to understand the different structures we are part of, or the different structures we think are the norms or are the ways the landscape functions.
Yeah.
So in this, we want to relook at the politics of farming, or we want to relook at the politics of domestication, and how these two have over the course of history and time has established narratives, and these narratives are what we are curious to relook at, whether it is historical, whether it is artistic or anthropological or archaeological. That's where we are curious to see these narratives again, but through a different lens. The Artist Garden project in Jameel Art Center also is in a way an extension of the philosophy of Lakshmi Nivas, which is again asking the same question with how to think like a forest. And in this, we look at the UAE landscape where the driving idea is the desert is the forest.
And we were looking at the relationship between the goat and the plant and human from UAE landscape. So our larger part of the research is based on the plants which being consumed by goat and human in the landscape.
And another important thing, I mean, the underlying curiosities or the question that we're interested to look into this project is the domestication involved in this concept, which is domestication of the goat by the human, or of the human by the goat, the plant domestication of the plant by the goat or the human, and so on and so forth. So the garden is also in a way trying to rethink about these different elements in the landscape, whether it's the human or whether it's the goat or whether it's the plant. And what we are trying to look into this, as we again have said, that it's the interconnectedness which is where the politics thrives, and that's why through the garden we want to look at the plants which is consumed both by the goats and the humans, in the UAE landscape.
And also certain geographies where these mineral deposits are there, and mineral deposits are always crucial or very important for animals and different kind of plants and humans. So we also doing a sculptural objects, you could say, in the garden with the plants that consist of clay and bone powder and salt and turmeric, and we'll be making these mineral sculptures, and it will be displayed in the garden space.
We got fascinated by the different ways historically humans in the UAE landscape or the region have consumed these same plants which goats also consumed, and most of the plants would not have been directly consumed, but they would have been an additive to many other recipes, either as a food or a medicine. And that's where also triggered or stimulated for us to experiment with these same plants. And in this context, we are intending, or we want to collaborate with a chef with whom we want to create these recipes which we can eat in a way.
And it's also become a performative act in the garden, because those plants will be growing in the garden, and there will be goats eating the plants, and there will be dishes made out of these plants, and the visitors will be served that dishes.
And another related factor in this project is, as we've already spoken about the domestication. Now, in a landscape, in most landscapes, there are mineral deposits in different formats, either as stone or as a water runoff, and these spaces in the landscape were the places where different kind of beings came to either lick or drink that water, because that's the only way the mineral required for a being is satisfied. So now when the structure of domestication changed with a huge intervention by how human societies organized themselves, they started creating a recipe which is like a mineral block. Now it's in a way imitating a landscape.
Artificially giving the minerals to these domesticated animals.
Yes.
So and that's where the idea. There is also traditional practices where in India, some parts of India and Africa,
Brazil, South America,
where they make this natural mineral mix, and they make a block. So that's where we thought it will be an interesting element to bring into the garden, that because it's also talk about the geography, and to making this mineral sculptures. So it's a very simple recipe to make these sculptures, and it's just based on clay and bone powder and salt, rock salt
and turmeric.
Turmeric, it's not all the places they don't use turmeric, but then in India they use turmeric a lot because it also helps the digestion system for the animal. So,
and that angle we found very interesting, that domestication happened, and then suddenly we are trying to imitate landscapes, imitate the overall well-being of the animals that we domesticate in the land, for factors which is again very much controlled by different market factors, market economies rather, you can say. So that's where we felt that it's a very political element, because it's an element where it's an object of domestication, the mineral sculpture that we are trying to make for the garden.
And in the garden, as we said, that it's a performative thing, where goat come and goat start licking these sculptures, and it's also very ephemeral in nature, because it will disappear after some time of licking.
One of the reasons we are interested to push this project, where we want to study a comparison, or rather look between two landscape of Kerala and UAE, one primary reason is we're trying to again pull the politics of domestication, because historically in the Kerala landscape, a huge number of goats came from the UAE region. And what we call the Malabari goat, which is the indigenous supposed to be indigenous to Kerala, is not really indigenous to Kerala. It has a huge genetic mix of goats from the UAE and the Middle East region. And that's where we want to bring in the idea of, why were goats brought into Kerala, first thing. Then another reason we are looking at the Kerala landscape is because Lakshmi Nivas is also based in Kerala.
And Kerala and Middle East relationship for centuries and continuing.
And the historicity of this relationship is quite interesting, because in this, we don't want to look at the migration of humans or spices, but we want to look through the goat, to the non-human, and the ship and the sea object, it would be rather more object oriented in this inquisition or our curiosity.